This week, Dustin really wants to get a whitetail with his bow.
He has put in a ridiculous amount of time with no success. He hadn't even seen a buck that he'd draw his bow back on yet.
I have not seen a deer like that. I mean, I have guided a ton of giant deer, but I've never killed a giant whitetail.
Hold on. I wasn't trying to go.
Right here. Can you drive it?
Hell yeah.
No. I look up and there he is.
Time to get up now.
Our lives move pretty fast, but it's only in the moment of the hunt that life slows down. It's not a matter of what we do, but how we do it. With passion, drive, and the challenge to accept nothing but our best. We are the Wildlifers.
We've got this property in Kansas. It's a great property. It's ranched and farmed by family. It's got a lot of alfalfa. It's got some milo fields, a lot of wheat and turnip fields. I mean, there's a lot of food for the deer. You know, the difference between a Kansas deer and a South Texas deer, for one thing, is the size. I mean, a Kansas buck, he can weigh 280 pounds. You know, a big bodied deer in Texas is 180 pounds. So you're talking about a big body difference. And the reason why is our deer don't have to sustain the winters that they do. So over years and years of the deer adapting to the climate, these deer got bigger and stronger. You know, the first 2 years here in Kansas, you know, I sat in trees, I sat in ground blinds, you know, I scouted hard, I sat on food, I sat everywhere. You know, I had a few target bucks that I never ever even saw them out of the tree.
He has put in a ridiculous amount of time
Preparing, setting things up, getting wind right, setting tree stands.
with no success. He hadn't even seen a buck that he'd draw his bow back on yet.
He really has worked hard to try and find him a whitetail buck.
I've never killed a giant whitetail. Now, I've killed hundreds of whitetail here at the ranch at Melon Creek, but they're all inferior genetics. They're all cull bucks. You know, they're stuff that you don't want breeding does. So to kill a big giant trophy, hey, I've been after them in Kansas for 2 years. I sure hope I get it done this year.
Dustin has worked tirelessly on this property, along with his good friend, Dave Rollins.
Dave is a mutual friend that, you know, I met hunting through an outfitter in Kansas. We enjoy the management practices. You know, we enjoy the thrill of the hunt. We didn't want to go to an outfitter that does all the work, puts you in the tree. You know, if one walks by and you kill him, you know, yes, you killed him, but you didn't do the work. So we wanted our own lease. That way we could put the game cameras out. We could decide where our stands need to be. That way when it worked, it was all on us, but when it doesn't work, it's all on us too. We're gonna go to a stand I hunted some last year. It's not our #1 spot. It's where we'll be tonight, but I ain't driving around just sitting in the truck today. I want to get in a tree, so can't kill one on the couch. Gotta get in the tree, so let's go. Got pictures of big deer. I know they're around here. We just gotta get our eyes on one, hope one walks by our tree. You know, this morning was a little slow. We didn't see a lot of deer, but hey, I'm in a stand deer hunting. It can't get any better. So I'm gonna go back, meet up with Dave. We're gonna come up with a game plan for this evening. Let's just run in, change clothes, and work on that stand, huh? We're gonna go work on a new set that we hung last night that I really, really want to get into. There's a big deer over there. We gotta work on the stand because it's up there really high. We want to make sure it's safe. We gotta get it perfect before we get in it. We don't want to mess that one up. After 2 years of not getting a buck, I'm pretty confident this year I'm gonna get myself in the right spot and I'm gonna get one.
After 2 years hunting the Kansas property with no luck, Dustin and friend Dave Rollins have hung a new set in an area where they've seen mature bucks on camera.
Dave tells me, hey, you go down the creek, you sit down there. That's where he was the last time. That's the last picture we have of him last night. He's got to be bedded down there. He's going to be coming back through here. Go sit down there, and you're going to get him tonight. We hung us a new stand over here where we've got a lot of good deer, and I've been excited for 3 weeks about sitting over here. I think we're probably about 25 feet to the bottom of the creek, but the problem is that ditch doesn't run the whole way. You know, outside the ditch or the creek bottom, it's not as tall, so we had to go really high, but it might be worth it here in a couple hours when we knock a big one down. This evening I saw a few little young bucks, but I didn't see that big buck Dave said was gonna be here. Right before last light, I got a text message from Dave.
Dave just sent me a text message that he stuck the big one. I don't know which one that is, but he obviously just stuck one with a bow. So that's pretty exciting.
Come to find out, it was the same buck I was hunting. Dave said he was gonna be at my stand, and then instead he came to his stand. You know, leave it to Dave, he always gar holes me. He always tells me this big, giant, beautiful plan, go sit right here. He's gonna come down this trail and there he's gonna be, but it never works like that. It says, hey, come sit at this stand. This deer with all these kickers coming off his brow tines, he's gonna be there. What, dude, 3/4 of a mile?
I already feel bad.
You should feel bad.
I do.
All in all, I mean, I'm super pumped. I'm super excited to go see this deer because here I've been hunting for 2 years and I haven't even seen one that I would shoot from my tree. I'm really excited to go see Dave's buck. Awesome. Congratulations, man. I love his mass. God dang, these deer grow so much from what their pictures look like. This buck is awesome. He's got character, he's got beams, he's got mass, he's got extra points. And I tell you what, it just makes me get so more excited to get in the tree in the morning, and I'm ready to get it back after him. Do you realize that since I've been in Kansas for 3 years, I have not seen a deer like that? No, like I'm not trying to make you feel bad, but I have yet to see a deer in a stand like that. You know, after Dave killed his deer, you know, I had the next 10 days or so to hunt all by myself. I had the whole farm, you know, and I hunted hard. I hunted every day. I didn't take a day off. Then I came back in December and you know, I hunted the rest of the year with my bow, and here we go. I'm going home without a deer. This will be my 4th year to hunt Kansas, 1 with a muzzleloader and 2 with a bow. I feel like I've got more knowledge about what the deer do at our farm. You know, I feel like I'm beginning to be a better hunter every year that I go. Every hour that I sit in the stand, every game camera that I check, I learn more knowledge about what the deer are doing. This is my season. I'm not going home empty-handed. I'm getting a buck. You know, I've been hunting Kansas for 3 years and I've struck out all 3 years. Then we got this property up here and I bow hunted the last 2 years. It's been a 0 for 3. I've struck out. This is the 4th year. Man, I've been watching our game cameras. I've got a couple of bucks that I'm really excited about. They're what I come to Kansas for. You You know, every year we've got some stands that are good, some that aren't. You know, we're moving stands around. The ones that were good, we leave those there. We've got a couple of new spots set up this year that had a lot of activity, so can't wait to check them out. You know, we even got some new hay bale blinds. Now we just got to figure out how to move them around.
Side to pick it up. Hold on. Oh, I wasn't trying to go.
Well, we build these hay bale blinds, and we've got to get them out to where we're hunting, and we're sitting here going, well, they won't fit in the truck. What are we going to do? So we end up picking them up and setting them over the top of Dave's Polaris and looking out the windows of the hay bale blind, driving it down the road.
Can you drive it?
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, we can
No. Somebody's gonna have to push the gas.
We'll push the
Somebody's gonna
gas.
have to stand
I'll
up.
stand here and drive.
You know, we've got this blind tucked in. It just looks like a round bale sitting in the middle of a hayfield or on the edge of the hayfield. So I'm gonna get in there tonight and I'm gonna see what deer come out to this alfalfa field. You know, it's in a great spot. Dave saw a big bodied buck out here last night. It was a little too dark for him to tell which one it was. So even if we don't kill tonight, at least we can see what he is, you know, and should see a lot of deer.
Well, this is our first hunt in Kansas of the year. It's September. It's early season. It's hot. The deer aren't moving in the mornings. They're moving right at dark. So put this blind in here today, and we're sitting on an alfalfa field. The deer are bedding just to the west of us, and they're filtering off into this alfalfa every night at dark. So, man, we've got some big deer on camera close to here, and we've been seeing deer in this field, so we're ready. We're in a good spot. Let's see what happens.
You know, right before dark, we've got some does and some great young bucks. They come right in. You know, they come right into the field and start feeding. And one particular buck, I recognize him. You know, he's usually with the big buck. So, hey, it could happen. This buck could be really close. He could be right behind you.
But as the sun sets over the property, Dustin is reminded of his past 3 seasons in Kansas and leaves the blind with a new plan to check his cameras in the morning.
I'm coming down right now into a creek bottom. It's very close to where the pictures are taken of the buck I'm looking for. I hope we can find him down here. You know, I haven't checked this card in about 4 days, and you just never know when the buck you're looking for is on your game camera. I love checking game camera pictures.
And I tell you what, there's nothing more exciting than walking up to a card, you know, while you're hunting and you're very optimistic, you're very hopeful that the buck that you're looking for is on that camera. So when you've popped that card out and put it into your camera or your computer to check it, I mean, time stands still for just a quick second until you look at those pictures.
Got a lot of deer pictures, 408 pictures in the last 4 days. That's a good sign. This is our buck. Oh my goodness. He was here at 11:47 yesterday. Right before lunch, he was here. This is the buck that we're looking for. Wow. Man, this is good news. It looks like I'll be sitting in this stand for the next few days. That's awesome. That's what we're looking for. This is the break I've been looking for. I've been checking cameras, doing everything right, spraying down, hustling, looking, trying to hunt hard. This early season, it's tough, but the buck was here yesterday. So we're gonna get in that stand tonight. For the next few days, this is where I'll be.
Now I know where this buck's moved to. Hey, I ain't going home without him.
After striking out for 3 years in Kansas, Dustin has just located his target buck on a trail camera, so excitement is high for today's hunt.
You know, the plan is I'm gonna get in this stand early. I'm gonna get in there right after lunch, and I'm gonna sit till dark and just get in there and be quiet and see what happens.
Come to war. This is more than just one fight. Last chance for survival.
Well, this is where we'll sit for the evening. There's deer got a milo field up to the east of us, and they bed over here, so we're trying to catch them when they're going to the milo.
You know, I'm just thinking 30 minutes before dark, we're gonna start seeing deer. That's when I've been seeing deer all week long is, you know, that last hour of daylight. Hey, that's what you gotta do. I don't wanna bump him getting in there too late. You know, it's warm, you know, it's still early. I'm not expecting to see any deer for at least an hour and a half from now. I'm not dozing off, but I'm not really paying attention, you know, I'm not focusing. I'm just kind of looking around, watching some squirrels, watching some quail. I guess I wasn't paying enough attention, but I look up and there he is. Here it is. I've finally got a buck that I've been looking for. Immediately, you know, my heart started pumping. I'm excited. This is why I've been sitting in a tree for 4 years, is for a moment like this. Everything is perfect, except I got caught without knowing he was coming, so I don't even have my bow in my hand yet. You know, this buck is 20 yards away. Hey, one wrong creak in your feet, one wrong movement, drop something, anything that goes wrong right here, this buck's gone forever.
The buck ended up circling around and staying in bow range, giving Dustin a rare opportunity to get another shot off, helping make this a quick and ethical harvest.
We got him. I don't even know what to say. I've been a part of a lot of big deer in my life, but I've never killed a big deer. I just did. He's down right there. I'm gonna take Stan right now. It's an amazing feeling to get a big buck like that on the ground, and I can't wait to get over there to him.
Well, I was up glassing a ridge looking for a buck that I'd been after that I had trail cameras of, and a text came through on my phone, and I just looked down at it, and it was from Dustin, and it said, "Got him." Man, what a rush, because I know that guy has put in so much time and had so many failures after failures after failures. And I knew it was going to be a giant of a buck because I knew Mueller wasn't going to pull the trigger unless it was something very worthwhile.
So Dan gets in the mule and heads straight to Dustin's stand.
That is the most accomplished feeling. I've been getting my butt kicked in Kansas. For 3 years in a row, I've not shot a deer in Kansas. I've went home with a Kansas tag in my pocket. I'm fixing to put mine on that buck here in a little bit.
I want to get on the ground. I want to go put my hands on this buck. And I watched him do a flip right over there. I know where he's at.
He wanted me to get down in that draw and look at that deer, and I think I wanted to get down there twice as bad. I don't think people really understand how much time and effort and energy the last 4 years for Dustin has been. I mean, he has absolutely hunted his butt off.
I'm gonna tell you guys, usually when I walk up to a deer in Texas, they have a little ground shrinkage. From what I've found on these Kansas deer, they get bigger. Wow, look at that buck. That is unbelievable. This buck is by far the biggest buck I've ever killed. And the body on him, look how big these deer are. This is 2 of our deer. Wow. I don't even know what to say. I've walked up to a lot of big deer in Texas, but I was always guiding and telling the guy what to shoot and being happy for him. So this isn't somebody else's buck that I guided and helped kill. I killed him. And to get him down early season when it's the toughest,
I tell you what, I will never, ever stop wanting my heart to beat that fast. When my heart stops beating that fast, when I see a trophy animal, that's when I'm gonna quit hunting. Sitting in that tree for 4 years, it was all worth it to get my hands on this buck.
For all your wildlife or social media needs, make sure to follow them on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.